Today, I wanted to tackle a question that I get a lot. And that question is, what should I do first, cardio or weights? And it's a question that I get a lot. And a client of mine about 9 years ago recommended this book right here, which is which comes first, cardio or weights? Hey, what's up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Shit Trainers Say. I am Jim Adams, the owner of Catalyst Personal Training. I'm coming to you solo. I usually have Deb, my general manager, with me, but she has some time off. So I'm going to tackle this subject solo. And today I wanted to tackle a question that I get a lot. And that question is, what should I do first, cardio or weights? And it's a question that I get a lot. And a client of mine about 9 years ago recommended this book right here, which is which comes first, cardio or weights? And it answers a lot. It was written by Alex Hutchinson, a PhD in exercise science, and he actually uses research to answer a lot of questions regarding either weight training or cardio. But regarding the question of what should I do first, weight training or cardio, it's like every other question. I hate to sound like a politician, but it depends on what your goal is. All right. So, but even with your goal, there is some caveats that you need to know when it comes to either weight training or strength training. And I'll read straight from the book, this little highlighted section here, where he says, it turns out that the sequence of cellular events that lead to bigger muscles is determined in part by the same master switch, an enzyme called AMP kinase, that controls adaptations for better endurance. So the same mechanism that makes your muscle stronger also improves your cardiovascular endurance. And then he goes on to say, but you can't have it both ways. The switch is set either to bigger muscles or to better endurance. And the body can't instantly change from one setting to another. How you start your workout determines which way the switch will be set for the training session. So what that means is you can only train one component at a time, either to be effective. I mean, you can try to combine both strength training and cardio, but the analogy I use for that is like trying to control the temperature in your house by turning on the heat and the AC at the same time. It works, but it's just not super efficient. So to be super efficient, you need to compartmentalize it. If you're looking to gain strength, then you need to do it for that session. That session needs to be a strength geared session. If you want to improve your cardio, then it needs to be geared toward cardio to be more effective. That way, it's like trying to heat your house by just turning on the heat and trying to cool your house by just turning on the AC. Pick one or the other, but not both. The shotgun approach works for people who are new to fitness, who are just getting into fitness. And if you've been home in quarantine, then it will definitely work for you. You can do both because you're starting from zero. So any progress, stimulus is going to create progress. So if you're just starting out or haven't done anything before, then definitely just get moving and do something. But if you've been training for a while and you're training for something specific, then you should train specifically, either cardio or weights. Now, I will weigh in on that a little bit, and I'm biased because I believe strongly in strength training, but I also believe strongly in cardiovascular. But I will tell you that muscles burn calories. The more muscle you have, the better toned that muscle is, the more calories you will burn 24/7, even while you're sitting in your chair or sitting at your desk working or in a meeting, on a Zoom call, sleeping. You're going to burn more calories if you have more muscle or if that muscle is more toned. Actually, toned is a myth. You either have strong muscles or you don't. There is no tone. So when you do cardio, You burn calories. You do cardio to burn calories, keep your cardiovascular system, your heart, your vascular system healthy, in better shape to improve your endurance, or if you want to improve your running times or whatever it may be, you do cardio for that. But most people wind up doing cardio for calorie burning. And when you do cardio, your body burns calories in the muscles. So again, the more muscle you have, the more calories you're going to burn when you do cardio. So that's why, especially as you get older, and I think it's age 30, some studies say 30, some studies say 35, but once you get in your 30s, if you're not working to maintain muscle mass, then you're losing it. So basically, if you're not pushing that muscle mass ahead, then it's sliding backwards on its own. So that's why I think you should prioritize strength training once you get into your 30s and beyond, because that is going to help you burn more calories, is going to help boost your metabolism, and it's going to have a synergistic effect when you do cardio with more muscle mass. In addition to the fact that most people, muscle gives your body shape. So if you want to change the shape of your body, then definitely strength train. If you want to change the shape of your butt, your legs, your gut, your shoulders, your arms, strength train. And then you can also do cardio with it, but I would definitely recommend prioritizing the strength training. I will say that both weight training, strength training, and cardio are terrible weight loss strategies. Let me repeat that. Strength training and cardio are terrible weight loss strategies. The best weight loss strategy is to change what you're eating. It comes down to calories in and calories out, which is why most people chase that cardio wagon, is that they're wanting to learn to burn calories and kind of out exercise their diet, or they want to exercise so that they can eat certain things. And that's fine if that's your motivation, but just realize that it's a poor strategy. A better weight loss strategy is changing what you eat. And then when it comes to strategies or committing to something, then commit for the long haul. And what I mean by that is, if you're wanting to lose weight, it's better to make one small, simple change and be consistent with that change over the course of a year than to do some kind of crash or fad or calorie restricted diet for a month and then go back to eating normal, because your normal eating is what got you to needing to go on the diet in the first place. So why would you go back to the problem when you've just finished with what you thought was a solution? Why don't you change the problem? Change the situation of the problem. So that's why I think, and then the other thing about those fad diets that a lot of people don't consider in that yo-yo dieting, or what we call in the industry skinny fat, meaning that when you go on a calorie restricted diets, or most of these quick weight loss diets, what you lose is muscle mass. So when you go on diets, these fad diets or calorie restricted diets, and you lose weight, most of it is coming from muscle mass. So what does that mean? That means your metabolism is going to start slowing down, and then your body is going to become softer. All right. And it's going to change the shape of your body, most likely not to what you want. All right. And then when you go back to eating normal, your metabolism is slower because you have less muscle. So guess what? All the weight that you gain back is fat. So you actually wind up fatter. This has been a documented fact in several dieting studies. They say most diets have like a 95% failure rate when you look at it over the course of a year. So that's why I say, whatever strategy you choose, commit for the long term, not just for the short 1 month, 6 week, whatever it may be. Commit for the long term. So I would rather see my clients make one small change in their eating that will have a tremendous effect over the course of a year, because it's easier to maintain. It's less calorie restrictive. You're less likely to lose muscle, and slow down your metabolism, all of these things. So commit for the long term. And when it comes to working out, commit for the long term. Again, I would rather see my clients train twice a week for a year versus every day for a month. Because if you train every day for a month, you're going to get burned out, and most likely you're going to get an injury from overtraining. And you're going to overtrain, which is going to short circuit your weight loss efforts and strength training efforts and cardiovascular efforts. It's going to short circuit all of that because it's just too much. You go from 0 to 1,000 miles an hour if you go 5 days a week or every day for a month, thinking, okay, I'm going to get in shape and then I'm going to back off. I would much rather you commit for the long term, say, I'm going to do this twice. I'm going to make one small change in my eating, and I'm going to commit to training 2 to 3 days a week for a year. I guarantee you will get better results that way than trying to do that hyper focus for 1 month. Let me check my notes here because I think that is all that I have. Yes, that is all that I have. And I also encourage you to go on Amazon and check out this book. Which comes first, cardio or weights? If you're asking me, I'm going to say weights first and then cardio second for all the reasons that I just outlined. But like all great politicians, it depends. It depends on what shape you're in, where you're starting from, what your goals are, all of those things. So I would say if you're looking to start a strength training program or even a cardiovascular program or lose some weight, consult a professional. Just like you would if you had a legal problem or a medical problem. So that is all that I have for this short podcast. I hope you found it helpful. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. You can contact me at Jim, that's Jim, not JYM, but JIM _A at catalyststl.com. And I'd be happy to answer your questions or address them on future episodes of this podcast. So feel free to reach out, folks. And until next time, I hope you are well.